Hey, long time no see. Welcome to this episode of Gas Therapy. I'm Michael. I share my knowledge of musical gear solutions which are cheap and dope, and also better in my opinion. Make sure you subscribe to my channel so you wouldn't miss my future content. And today I'm gonna share you how I shape my workflow on Koala Sampler with Korg nanoKONTROL2 to give you an SP404 feel for cheap. And I'm not sponsored by anyone. It's purely from my passion of gear solution exploration. Let's go. A lot of people don't like using smart devices to make music because it's mainly rely on touchscreen and visual feedback. It lacks of tactile feel like a hardware. But you know what? MIDI mapping to a controller would easily nail it. And the Koala Sampler app allows you to do a lot. The only question is how many knobs and buttons does your controller have? For Korg nanoKONTROL2, it has a lot of buttons, including transport control and individual track control, which is almost perfect, mimicking SP404 sequence workflow. But before you dive into this mapping tutorial, make sure you already set your nanoKONTROL2's button behavior into momentary, not toggle. This is what I prefer to go with. To actually achieve MIDI mapping in Koala, you need to go to Menu, then Settings, MIDI, turn on Use MIDI Mapping, then click Map MIDI. Then you can click on the button in Koala, and it will listen to the next signal from your controller. When you finish your mapping, just click Stop Mapping, and the Koala will save up your settings for future use. So how I mapped my nanoKONTROL2. Firstly, I mapped these transport controls into play, record, tempo, delete, increase bar length, decrease bar length. And for the tempo one, I actually set the button behavior into toggle, not momentary, and the others are all in momentary mode. And then I split 8 buttons, mapped into Koala's 8 sequences, which are actually in the first sequence page in Koala. Then other 16 buttons, I mapped them into Koala's sample page, which are all in the sample page 1. 16 buttons to 16 pads, which means I limited myself into 8 sequences and 16 buttons. You can always go to the touch screen if you feel limited. For 8 knobs on nanoKONTROL, I mapped them into the sample volume, sample pitch, and sample pan. And for these 5, I mapped them into master effects, which are master pitch, talk box, stutter, vibro flange, and filter. And I have had so much fun with the stutter knob, if you know what I'm saying. And for 8 sliders, I mapped them into tempo, beat crush, reverb, reverse, tempo delay, dub, which is a tape-like delay, and dirty, which is actually a distortion. And the last one is compressor. You can also map them to the effects you use the most to fulfill your need. There is something I need to point out, that if you set your play and record button behavior into momentary, then you need to hold play to trigger constant play, and hold record to trigger constant record. But what I prefer to trigger play and stop is to press and release record to trigger constant play, and then press and release play to let it stop. It's a little bit tricky, but works every time. And as you can see, with this in-depth mapping method, you can do a lot in Koala without touching the screen. It's really fun doing this. It almost replicated the SP404 sequence workflow. And I think you know what I mean. So that's it for today's video. You can download my setting file for nanoKONTROL2 in the description down below for free. Leave a comment if you have any question. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel for more musical gear solutions which are cheaper and better. In my opinion. I'm Michael. This is Gas Therapy. See you in the next one. Peace. Oh, I forgot to mention that I took out these annoying caps on the sliders so that I can press on these tiny little buttons with ease. This is just another little trick I want to share with you. Stay safe. Have fun. Bye.